Have you ever wondered what truly touches a man's heart? Not just impresses him on a surface level, but deeply moves him in a way that makes him feel safe, cherished, and understood? Many believe it's about grand gestures, expensive gifts, or extravagant dates, but the reality is much simpler and far more profound. The key to a man's heart isn't about playing games or manipulation. It's about genuine connection, emotional intelligence, and small but meaningful acts of love. Men, despite their exterior strength, carry silent burdens. Society tells them to be tough, to suppress their emotions, and to carry on without seeking support. But every man has a heart that longs to be seen, appreciated, and understood. When a woman learns to tap into these emotional needs, she creates a rare and unbreakable connection. In this video, we'll explore the secret ingredients that make a man feel truly valued, but we won't stop at generic relationship advice. Instead, we'll dive deep into psychology, real-life stories, and practical insights that will change the way you see relationships forever. So, let's begin. Here are the 10 things that truly melt a man's heart. Number 1, genuine appreciation. The power of feeling seen. Men may not always seek praise, but deep down they long for acknowledgement. The world often conditions them to be strong, resilient, and self-sufficient, to provide and protect without expecting anything in return. This silent expectation can lead to an invisible burden, making them feel unseen or unappreciated. However, one of the most powerful ways to touch a man's heart is to recognize and appreciate his efforts. Not just the grand gestures, but the small, everyday sacrifices that often go unnoticed. Ethan, a hard-working husband and father, spent years waking up at 5 a.m. to provide for his family. He never complained, never asked for a break, just kept pushing forward, believing that his role was to ensure his family's well-being. He fixed things around the house, took care of bills, and made sure his children never lacked anything. One evening, after an exhausting day at work, Ethan sat down at the dinner table, feeling drained. His wife Sarah, usually busy with her own responsibilities, noticed the wariness in his eyes. Instead of giving him advice or telling him to take it easy, she simply placed a gentle hand on his shoulder and said, "I see how hard you work for us, and I appreciate it more than words can say." That simple moment stayed with Ethan forever. It wasn't about the words alone, it was the feeling of being truly seen, of having his quiet sacrifices acknowledged. For years he had given his best without expecting praise, but in that instant he realized that his efforts mattered. Appreciation is not about grand gestures or excessive compliments. It is about recognizing the unseen, the efforts that often go unmentioned. Studies show that when people feel appreciated, their motivation, emotional well-being, and sense of self-worth increase. This is especially true for men, who are often expected to endure without expressing their struggles. Many men hesitate to voice their emotions or admit when they feel unnoticed. They may not seek validation openly, but a lack of appreciation can lead to burnout, emotional withdrawal, and even resentment. On the other hand, a few simple words of acknowledgement can fuel their sense of purpose, reinforcing that their hard work is valued. It's easy to say thank you, but true appreciation goes beyond that. Here are some ways to make your acknowledgement meaningful. Be specific. Instead of a generic thanks, highlight exactly what you appreciate. Say, "I admire how you always make sure we're taken care of," or "I love how you handle the little things I forget about." Notice the unseen. Pay attention to the small acts of service like fixing a leaky faucet, making sure the car has gas, or staying up late to solve a problem. Mention them to let him know his efforts don't go unnoticed. Use actions, not just words. Sometimes appreciation is best shown through small gestures, a warm hug, a handwritten note, or making his favorite meal after a long day. Encourage and support. Acknowledge not only what he does, but also who he is. Say, "I admire your patience with the kids," or "Your determination inspires me." Public recognition. A private word of appreciation is powerful, but occasionally acknowledging his efforts in front of family or friends can be even more meaningful. Saying, "He always makes sure we're okay, and I'm so grateful for that," can uplift his spirit. Genuine appreciation is not just a momentary boost. It strengthens relationships and deepens emotional bonds. When a man feels seen, valued, and respected, he is more likely to feel fulfilled in his role. Over time, This creates a positive cycle. The more appreciated he feels, the more love and effort he will continue to give. At its core, appreciation is about connection. It reminds us that our efforts are not in vain, that someone sees and values us. And sometimes all it takes is a few heartfelt words to lift a burden and make someone feel truly seen. Number 2, deep listening, the rare gift of being understood. Most people listen to respond, not to understand. But when a woman masters the art of deep listening, she creates a space where a man feels truly safe to open up. In a world where men are often conditioned to suppress their emotions, deep listening is more than a skill, it's a gift. It fosters trust, strengthens relationships, and helps a man feel truly seen and heard. Daniel grew up believing that men should be strong, that emotions were a weakness. He had learned from an early age to push down his fears, doubts, and insecurities. Over time, this belief became a habit, making it difficult for him to share his struggles, even with those closest to him. One evening, after a particularly difficult day at work, Daniel found himself sitting in silence beside his wife, Emma. He hesitated before speaking, afraid of how his words might be received. Finally, he admitted, "I don't know if I'm doing enough. I feel like I keep trying, but it's never enough." Emma could have responded in many ways. She could have reassured him with words like, "Of course, you're doing enough," or immediately offered solutions. "Maybe you just need to manage your time better." But she didn't. Instead, she did something far more powerful. She put down her phone, turned her full attention toward him, and met his eyes with warmth and understanding. Then she said softly, "That sounds really tough. I can see how much this is weighing on you." That simple moment changed everything. For the first time in years, Daniel felt like he could breathe. He didn't need to justify his feelings or defend his emotions. He wasn't being judged, advised, or dismissed. He was simply being heard. That night, Daniel opened up in a way he never had before, and Emma realized the power of true listening. She wasn't there to fix him or change his mind. She was there to understand him. Why deep listening matters. Deep listening isn't just about hearing words, it's about understanding the emotions behind them. When a man feels heard in this way, it strengthens his emotional connection to his partner. He learns that he is safe to express himself without fear of rejection or judgment. Many men struggle with vulnerability because they fear being seen as weak. But when they are met with genuine understanding rather than quick solutions, they begin to trust the process of opening up. A woman who listens deeply becomes a source of comfort and safety. She helps dismantle the internalized belief that men must always be strong, showing instead that true strength comes from honesty and connection. Practical tips for deep listening. Be fully present. When he speaks, put away distractions. Close your laptop, put down your phone, and focus completely on him. Presence alone can be incredibly powerful. Use reflective listening. Instead of jumping to solutions, acknowledge what he is feeling. Say things like, "That sounds really difficult," or "I can see why that would be frustrating." This helps him feel validated. Resist the urge to fix. Many people listen with the intent to solve problems. But deep listening isn't about finding solutions. It's about creating a safe space for emotions to be expressed. Pay attention to nonverbal cues. Sometimes what isn't said is just as important as what is. Notice his tone, his facial expressions, and his body language. These can tell you more about what he's feeling than his words alone. Be comfortable with silence. You don't have to fill every pause. Sometimes silence gives him the space to gather his thoughts and share more deeply. Show empathy, not judgment. Even if you don't fully understand his struggle, let him know you care. Phrases like "that must be hard" or "I appreciate you sharing that with me" can make a big difference. When a man experiences deep listening, it transforms the way he views communication. He begins to trust that his emotions are valid, that he doesn't always have to carry the weight alone, and that he has a true partner who sees and supports him. This is the rare gift of being understood, and when given sincerely, it can change not just conversations, but entire relationships. Number 3, encouragement without pressure. Men don't always openly ask for encouragement, but deep inside, they carry doubts about their abilities, their worth, and their purpose. Society often teaches men to be strong, self-sufficient, and unwavering. but this expectation can leave them feeling isolated when they face challenges. Encouragement, when given in the right way, is not about pushing or pressuring them to perform. It's about offering unwavering belief in their abilities without adding extra weight to their burdens. True encouragement is subtle, yet powerful. It doesn't come in the form of nagging or constant advice, but in quiet, steady support. It's about creating a space where he feels safe to express his doubts, where he knows he's not alone in his struggles, and where he is reminded of his own strength without being made to feel inadequate. Sam had always dreamed of being his own boss. After years of working for others, he finally took the leap and started his own small business. In the beginning, things went well. Customers were coming in, the revenue was steady, and he felt a deep sense of fulfillment. But as time passed, challenges began to mount. A downturn in the market, unexpected expenses, and growing competition all took their toll. One night, as he sat at the kitchen table staring at his financial records, he muttered under his breath, "Maybe I was never meant to do this. Maybe I should quit." His wife, Olivia, heard him, but didn't react with panic or frustration. She didn't say, "You have to work harder," or "You can't give up." Instead, she simply placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "I know this is tough, but I also know you. You always find a way forward. I believe in you." That one simple statement made all the difference. It reminded Sam that he wasn't alone, that someone saw his struggles and still believed in him. It wasn't a grand speech or a forceful push. It was just enough encouragement to help him regain his confidence. Over the next few months, Sam made adjustments to his business. He sought advice, refined his strategies, and kept going. Eventually, he turned things around. Looking back, he realized that Olivia's quiet support was what had kept him from giving up. Encouragement without pressure works because it reinforces a man's belief in himself rather than making him feel like he is failing. Many men already feel immense pressure from their work, society, or even their own expectations. When encouragement comes with added demands or comparisons, it can backfire, making them feel inadequate instead of motivated. Instead, encouragement should focus on acknowledging his strengths, reinforcing his resilience, and offering support without conditions. It's about being present rather than fixing his problems for him. Practical tips for encouragement without pressure. 1. Use affirmations of trust. Instead of saying, "You need to do better," try saying, "I trust that you'll figure this out." This shifts the focus from performance to inner confidence. It tells him that you see his ability, even if he doubts himself. 2. Validate his struggles without magnifying them. If he's feeling overwhelmed, avoid responses like, "You just have to push through," or "Why are you so stressed?" Instead, try, "I know this is a tough time, but I believe in your ability to handle it." This shows that you acknowledge his emotions without making them feel like weaknesses. 3. Support without solving. Men often feel a responsibility to solve problems on their own. If you immediately offer solutions, he might feel like you don't believe in his capability. Instead of saying, "You should do this," ask, "What do you think your next step is?" This allows him to take ownership of his decisions while knowing he has your support. 4. Celebrate small wins. Even small steps forward deserve recognition. A simple, "I saw how hard you worked on that and it paid off," can boost his confidence and remind him that progress is happening, even if slowly. 5. Be consistently present. Sometimes the best encouragement is silent presence. Sitting with him during difficult moments, listening without judgment, and simply being there can be more powerful than any words. Encouragement is not about pushing someone to be better. It's about reminding them that they already have what it takes. It's about quiet confidence, steady belief, and unwavering support. When given in this way, encouragement can become a powerful force that helps a man navigate his challenges while feeling respected and understood. 4. Small acts of kindness. Love in the little things. Love isn't built on grand gestures. It's built in the everyday moments. A grand romantic getaway or a surprise diamond ring may be exciting, but true, lasting love is often found in the small, seemingly insignificant acts of kindness that happen day after day. Mark had been married for 30 years. One day, a young co-worker, newly engaged, asked him, "After all these years, how do you keep the love alive?" Mark smiled and said, "Every morning before she wakes up, I make her coffee. She doesn't ask me to. She doesn't expect it. But when she wakes up, it's always there. At first, the young man thought it was just a simple routine. But Mark continued, it was never about the coffee. It was about the message, I still choose you. Mark's story wasn't about grand romantic gestures. It was about consistency, thoughtfulness, and the quiet ways we show our love. His wife never had to wonder if she was still cherished. That small daily act said it all. We often believe that love needs to be expressed in big, elaborate ways, anniversary surprises, expensive gifts, or once-in-a-lifetime experiences. But real love is found in the details. It's in the way someone remembers how you like your tea, the way they cover you with a blanket when you fall asleep on the couch, or the way they send a text in the middle of the day just to check on you. Psychologists say that small acts of kindness are the foundation of a strong relationship. Studies have shown that couples who regularly express appreciation for each other, even in minor ways, report greater relationship satisfaction than those who only focus on big moments. Think about the small things that have meant the most to you. When your partner remembered your favourite childhood snack and surprised you with it. When they reached for your hand in a crowded place without thinking. When they made sure your phone was charged before a long day. When they left you a note just to say, have a good day. None of these acts require much effort, but they carry immense emotional weight. If you want to strengthen your relationship, focus on the little things. Here are some ways to incorporate small acts of love into your daily life. Say good morning with love. Instead of a casual morning, take a second to look into their eyes, smile and say it with warmth. Check in during the day. A simple text asking, how's your day going, can make someone feel valued and cared for. Leave small notes. A sticky note with I appreciate you on the bathroom mirror, or a short message tucked into their bag can brighten their day. Offer help without being asked. If they're having a busy day, do a chore for them. Wash the dishes, pick up something from the store, or simply make their favourite drink. Give genuine compliments. Instead of just saying you look nice, go deeper. Tell them what you admire about them, like, I love how thoughtful you are. Remember the little details. Know how they like their coffee, what their favourite song is, or how they wind down after a long day. These details show that you truly see them. Physical affection in small ways. A soft touch on the back, holding hands, or a gentle hug in passing can remind them they are loved without words. It's easy to say I love you, but love is most deeply felt through action, especially in the quiet, ordinary moments. It's the small things done consistently that create a foundation of trust, warmth, and connection. At the end of the day, love isn't about proving something once in a while with grand gestures. It's about the small daily choices to be kind, thoughtful, and present. Because just like Mark's coffee, it's not about the act itself. It's about the message behind it. I still choose you. Vulnerability. Creating a safe space. Vulnerability is often misunderstood as a sign of weakness, but in reality it is one of the most profound expressions of courage and authenticity. In relationships, whether romantic, familial, or friendships, creating a safe space where vulnerability is welcomed and respected allows for deeper connections, emotional healing, and personal growth. At its core, vulnerability is about being open and honest, even when there is a risk of rejection or judgment. It means expressing our fears, hopes, and insecurities without putting up emotional walls to protect ourselves. Many people struggle with vulnerability because of past experiences of hurt, betrayal, or shame. They may have learned to suppress their true emotions to avoid disappointment. However, this often leads to loneliness and a lack of true intimacy in relationships. The reality is that vulnerability is not about oversharing or exposing oneself recklessly. Instead, it is about allowing others to see our authentic selves in a way that fosters trust and understanding. It requires a balance, choosing the right people and environments where our openness will be met with kindness rather than exploitation. A safe space is an environment, physical, emotional, or relational, where people feel secure enough to express themselves without fear of being judged, dismissed, or ridiculed. It is a space where honesty is met with compassion, where struggles are acknowledged rather than minimized, and where emotions are respected rather than invalidated. In relationships, a safe space is vital for fostering vulnerability. Without it, individuals may hide their true selves, fearing that their emotions will be used against them or that they will be seen as weak. This can lead to misunderstandings, resentment, and emotional disconnection. On the other hand, when people feel safe to be vulnerable, they are more likely to build strong, authentic bonds with others. Creating a safe space requires intentional effort, patience, and mutual respect. Here are some essential steps to foster an environment where vulnerability can thrive. 1. Practice active listening. A crucial aspect of creating a safe space is listening with full attention. This means putting away distractions, making eye contact, and genuinely focusing on what the other person is saying. Active listening also involves validating the other person's emotions rather than immediately offering solutions or dismissing their concerns. 2. Cultivate non-judgmental awareness. Judgment can shut down vulnerability instantly. When someone shares their thoughts or feelings, it is important to withhold criticism and avoid making them feel ashamed. Instead, respond with empathy and understanding, even if you do not fully agree with their perspective. 3. Express genuine empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share another person's feelings. When someone is vulnerable, responding with empathy, such as saying, "I can see how that would be really difficult for you," helps them feel seen and heard. Simple gestures like offering a comforting word or a reassuring presence can go a long way. 4. Encourage open communication. Encourage open and honest communication by creating an atmosphere where people feel comfortable expressing themselves. This means asking thoughtful questions, checking in regularly, and showing interest in their well-being. Avoid interrupting, dismissing, or assuming you know how they feel. 5. Model vulnerability yourself. One of the most powerful ways to create a safe space is to lead by example. When you share your own struggles, fears, or emotions in an honest and sincere way, it signals to others that it is okay for them to do the same. This does not mean sharing every detail of your life, but being open about your experiences can help build trust and mutual understanding. 6. Respect boundaries. A safe space does not mean forcing vulnerability. Some people may need time before they feel comfortable opening up. Respect their boundaries and let them share at their own pace. Pushing someone to be vulnerable before they are ready can have the opposite effect, making them withdraw even further. 7. Be reliable and trustworthy. Trust is the foundation of a safe space. Keeping confidences, following through on promises, and being a consistent presence in someone's life all contribute to an environment where vulnerability is welcomed. If people feel that what they share will be used against them or gossiped about, they will quickly retreat into emotional walls. Creating a safe space for vulnerability is an act of love, both for ourselves and for those around us. It requires patience, effort, and a commitment to fostering genuine connections. By practicing active listening, cultivating empathy, respecting boundaries, and leading by example, we can create environments where people feel valued, understood, and supported. In doing so, we pave the way for deeper relationships, emotional healing, and a greater sense of belonging in the world. Number 6, respecting his space, loving without clinging. In a loving relationship, it is natural to want to spend time together, share experiences, and feel connected. However, love does not mean losing oneself in another person. One of the most important aspects of a healthy relationship is respecting each other's space, allowing your partner to be themselves, have their own interests, and enjoy time apart without feeling guilty or pressured. Every person has their own emotional and psychological needs. While some people thrive on constant closeness, others need periods of solitude or time with friends, hobbies, or work to feel balanced. Respecting your partner's need for space does not mean they love you any less. Rather, it is a sign of trust and security in the relationship. Many people mistakenly believe that love means always being together, always talking, or always knowing what the other person is doing. However, when one partner feels suffocated or controlled, it can create tension, resentment, and even distance in the relationship. True love is about understanding and supporting your partner's individuality, not clinging to them out of fear or insecurity. Loving someone means wanting the best for them, even when that means giving them time alone. Clinging, on the other hand, often stems from fear Fear of being abandoned, fear of not being enough, or fear of losing control. When love turns into clinging, it can lead to unhealthy patterns such as constant texting, needing reassurance, or feeling anxious when your partner is not around. Clinginess can put pressure on a relationship because it makes one partner feel responsible for the other's happiness. This is an unfair burden. A relationship should enhance your life, not be the sole source of your emotional well-being. By developing a strong sense of self and personal fulfillment, you bring more balance to the relationship and allow love to grow naturally. How to love without clinging? 1. Develop your own life. One of the best ways to avoid clinginess is to cultivate your own interests, friendships, and passions. When you have a fulfilling life outside the relationship, you naturally become less dependent on your partner for emotional support. 2. Communicate openly. If you struggle with giving space, talk to your partner about your feelings. Expressing your emotions in a healthy way helps create understanding and trust. At the same time, listen to their perspective and respect their needs. 3. Trust and let go of fear. Trust is the foundation of a strong relationship. If you constantly worry about your partner leaving or losing interest, it may be helpful to examine where these fears come from. Are they based on past experiences, insecurities, or misunderstandings? Learning to trust and let go of fear allows love to flourish. 4. Appreciate time apart. Instead of seeing time apart as a threat, view it as an opportunity to grow as individuals. Time apart can strengthen your relationship by allowing both partners to recharge, miss each other, and bring new experiences into the relationship. 5. Set healthy boundaries. Boundaries are essential for any healthy relationship. They help define what is acceptable and ensure that both partners feel respected. Discuss what space means for each of you and find a balance that works for both. Loving without clinging is about finding harmony between togetherness and independence. A relationship built on trust, respect, and individual growth is far more fulfilling than one based on fear or control. When you give your partner the freedom to be themselves, you create a deeper and more meaningful connection, one that is based on true love rather than dependency. Shared laughter, the bond of joy. Laughter is a universal language that transcends barriers of age, culture, and background. It is a simple yet powerful force that strengthens relationships, brings people closer, and fosters a sense of belonging. When we share laughter with others, we create a connection that is rooted in joy, authenticity, and a mutual appreciation of life's humorous moments. Laughter is not just an emotional response, it has profound physiological and psychological effects. Studies show that laughing releases endorphins, the body's natural feel-good chemicals, which help reduce stress and promote an overall sense of well-being. When laughter is shared, these benefits are amplified, creating a bonding experience that strengthens relationships. Neurologically, laughter activates the brain's reward system, reinforcing social bonds. This is why people who laugh together often feel a deeper sense of connection and understanding. It's not just about the joke itself, but about the shared experience of joy that unites individuals. Laughter plays a crucial role in social interactions. It breaks down walls, eases tensions, and helps build trust between individuals. In friendships, humor can serve as a bridge, allowing people to express vulnerability in a light-hearted way. In romantic relationships, couples who laugh together tend to have stronger emotional bonds and are more likely to navigate challenges with resilience. In family life, shared laughter creates cherished memories. Children who grow up in a household filled with laughter often develop a positive outlook on life and stronger emotional resilience. Similarly, in the workplace, humor fosters collaboration, boosts morale, and enhances team dynamics. Beyond its social benefits, laughter has therapeutic qualities. Laughter therapy is now recognized as a legitimate method to improve mental and physical health. It has been shown to lower blood pressure, improve cardiovascular health, and even strengthen the immune system. Psychologically, laughter can be a powerful coping mechanism. It allows people to reframe difficulties, finding humor even in challenging situations. This doesn't mean ignoring pain, but rather approaching life struggles with a sense of lightness. To cultivate shared laughter, one must embrace playfulness and spontaneity. watching a funny movie with friends, sharing jokes, reminiscing about humorous past experiences, or simply allowing oneself to be silly can invite more laughter into daily life. It's also important to surround oneself with people who encourage joy and laughter. Being with those who appreciate humour and don't take life too seriously creates an environment where laughter naturally flourishes. At its core, laughter is a reflection of deep connection. When we laugh with someone, we momentarily step into a space where joy is shared, worries fade, and life feels lighter. It is in these moments that we realise the true beauty of human connection, one built not on words alone, but on the sound of genuine shared laughter. Number 8, supporting his growth without controlling, the art of nurturing without overpowering. When we care deeply about someone, whether it's a partner, a child, a friend, or a colleague, it's natural to want the best for them. We want to see them succeed, make the right choices, and grow into their best selves. However, the line between support and control can sometimes blur. While our intentions may be good, our desire to help can turn into micromanaging, imposing our own expectations, or unintentionally stifling their independence. So, how can we truly support someone's growth without controlling them? The key lies in fostering an environment of trust, encouragement, and respect while allowing them the space to make their own choices and mistakes. 1. Embrace the role of a guide, not a director. Imagine a gardener tending to a plant. The gardener provides the right soil, water, and sunlight, but they cannot force the plant to grow in a particular way. Similarly, when supporting someone's growth, our role is to provide guidance and resources, not dictate their path. Offer advice when asked, share your wisdom from experience, but allow them to navigate their journey. For example, if you're supporting your partner in their career decisions, instead of pushing them toward a specific job or strategy, encourage them to explore their interests and strengths. Ask open-ended questions like, what excites you most about this opportunity, rather than saying, you should definitely take this job. 2. Respect their autonomy. Everyone has their own unique path, and what worked for you may not work for them. Respecting their autonomy means accepting that they will make choices that might differ from what you would choose. Even if they make mistakes, those mistakes are valuable learning experiences. Instead of saying, that's not the right decision, try saying, I trust you to figure this out, and I'm here to support you no matter what. This approach empowers them to take ownership of their life while knowing they have a safe space to return to. 3. Be a safe and non-judgmental presence. True support means creating a space where the other person feels safe to express their thoughts, fears, and aspirations without fear of judgment. When someone feels they are being controlled, they may shut down, resist, or rebel. But when they feel genuinely supported, they open up and seek your input naturally. Instead of offering unsolicited advice or corrections, practice active listening. For example, if your son is struggling with a difficult decision, instead of jumping in with solutions, try saying, I can see that this is really important to you. What are you thinking about doing? This shows that you trust his judgment and are available for guidance without taking control. 4. Encourage, don't push. There is a fine line between encouragement and pressure. Encouragement uplifts, while pressure can create stress and resentment. If you're supporting someone's personal development, be mindful of how you express your encouragement. For instance, if your friend is working on improving their health, instead of saying, you need to work out more, you could say, I've noticed how much effort you've been putting into your health. That's really inspiring. This small shift in wording can make a huge difference in how your support is received. Number 5, allow room for failure and growth. Growth often comes from trial and error. If we shield our loved ones from failure or try to prevent them from making mistakes, we rob them of valuable lessons. Instead of controlling their choices to ensure success, let them experience the natural consequences of their actions. For example, if your partner is starting a new business and you worry about the risks rather than discouraging them or trying to take over, express confidence in their ability to navigate challenges. I know this is a big step, and I admire your courage. Whatever happens, I believe in your ability to learn and adapt. 6. Lead by example. One of the most powerful ways to support someone's growth is to model personal growth yourself. Show them what it looks like to take risks, learn from mistakes, and pursue personal development without fear. If you want your children to develop resilience, show them how you handle setbacks with grace. If you want your partner to pursue their passions, demonstrate how you dedicate time to your own interests and growth. 7. Let go of the need to control outcomes. At the root of controlling behavior is often fear. Fear that they will fail, get hurt, or not live up to their potential. But growth requires trust. Trust that they are capable of learning, evolving, and making their way. Trust that even in failure, there is growth. Supporting someone's journey means being there for them without holding on to the outcome. When we release the need to control, we allow love, trust, and true support to flourish. And in doing so, we not only help them grow, but we grow as well. Number 9, consistency. Love that stays steady. In a world where emotions fluctuate, circumstances change, and people evolve, consistency is the foundation of love that lasts. While passion can ignite relationships and grand gestures can momentarily impress, it is the steady, reliable presence of love that nurtures trust, deepens connection, and sustains relationships through the tests of time. True love is not just about how intensely you feel at one moment, but about how consistently you show up for someone day after day through all seasons of life. Consistency in love is about being reliable, emotionally available, and showing up for your loved ones, not just when it is easy, but also when it is difficult. It means being a safe harbour, a place of comfort and security where your partner, family, or friends can always turn. This kind of love is not based on fleeting emotions, but on commitment, effort, and intention. Imagine a partner who only expresses love when things are going well but disappears emotionally during tough times, or a friend who is enthusiastic about the relationship one week but distant the next. Such inconsistency breeds insecurity and doubt, making it difficult to trust the relationship. In contrast, when someone consistently shows love through words, actions, and presence, they create a stable foundation that strengthens the bond over time. Trust is not built overnight. It is cultivated through repeated actions over time. When you consistently show love, support, and care, the people in your life begin to rely on you, knowing that your affection is not dependent on temporary circumstances. They don't have to question whether you will be there for them when they need you, because your actions have proven your commitment time and again. In romantic relationships, trust flourishes when partners follow through on their promises, communicate openly, and remain present even in the mundane, unexciting moments. It's not just about celebrating anniversaries or making grand declarations. It's about the everyday kindness, the small gestures that say, "I am here and I am staying." Love is not only about the big dramatic moments, it is also about the little things done consistently. A daily good morning text, remembering a partner's favourite coffee order, listening attentively after a long day, or simply holding hands while walking together. These small actions accumulate over time, reinforcing love's stability. When love is inconsistent, it keeps people guessing, causing emotional distress. But when love is steady, it provides peace and reassurance. Knowing that someone is always there, not just during the highs, but also during the lows, creates a deep sense of emotional security. Consistency in love is not always easy. Life brings stress, personal struggles, and distractions that can sometimes make it hard to be fully present. However, love that remains steady requires effort and intentionality. It means choosing to show up even when you are tired, choosing to listen even when you are distracted, and choosing to love even when emotions fluctuate. At times, consistency can be misunderstood as routine or lack of excitement, but in reality, it is the very thing that makes love strong and enduring. While passion and excitement may ebb and flow, a love that is consistently nurtured will remain strong through the years. In the end, love that stays steady is love that lasts. It is not about being perfect, but about being present. It is about showing up, not just in moments of joy, but also in times of hardship. True love does not waver with every passing storm, but stands firm, offering warmth, stability, and reassurance. It is this kind of love, consistent, unwavering, and deeply committed, that we all long for, and that, when given, has the power to transform lives. Number 10. Unconditional care. Loving without expecting unconditional care is one of the purest forms of love, yet it is also one of the most challenging to practice. It means giving love, kindness, and support without expecting anything in return. In a world that often operates on transactions, where people give in hopes of receiving something back, unconditional care stands as a rare and transformative quality. This kind of love is not limited to romantic relationships, but extends to friendships, family, and even strangers. It is the kind of love that nurtures, heals, and creates deep connections. What does unconditional care mean? Unconditional care means offering love, help, or emotional support without setting conditions or expecting repayment. It is about caring for someone because you truly want their well-being, not because you hope they will return the favour. True unconditional love is selfless. It exists regardless of the other person's actions, attitudes, or responses. For example, a parent caring for a child does so without expecting anything in return. The child may never fully repay the parent's sacrifices, yet the parent continues to love and nurture. Similarly, when we help a friend through tough times, we do not do so with the expectation that they will owe us something. We do it because we genuinely care. While unconditional care sounds beautiful in theory, practicing it can be difficult. Human nature often inclines us toward fairness and reciprocity. We may feel hurt if our kindness is not acknowledged, or if someone takes advantage of our generosity. This is why true unconditional love requires inner strength, patience, and emotional maturity. To love without expecting means to detach from the idea of reward. It is an act of trust, believing that our kindness will create ripples of goodness in the world, even if it does not come back directly to us. It does not mean allowing ourselves to be mistreated or taken for granted, but rather loving with an open heart while maintaining healthy boundaries. Deeper relationships. When we love without expecting, our relationships become stronger and more genuine. People feel safe and valued when they know they are cared for without conditions. Inner peace, letting go of expectations reduces disappointment and resentment. We feel more at peace when we give without constantly calculating what we receive. Spiritual growth. Many spiritual traditions teach that unconditional love brings us closer to enlightenment. In Buddhism, for example, loving kindness, metta, is a practice that cultivates selfless compassion. Inspiring others, acts of unconditional care can create a ripple effect, inspiring others to act with kindness and generosity. How to practice unconditional care. Give freely. Offer love, time, and support without worrying about the return. Let go of expectations. Remind yourself that true love does not come with conditions. Practice compassion. Try to understand others without judgment. Set healthy boundaries. Loving unconditionally does not mean tolerating harm or disrespect. When we learn to love without expecting, we free ourselves from emotional burdens and experience a deeper sense of connection with the world. So what truly melts a man's heart? It's not about perfection. It's not about being the most beautiful, the most charming, or the most accomplished. True love isn't built on fleeting attractions or grand gestures. It's rooted in the deep emotional connection that makes a man feel safe, valued, and understood. A man may not always articulate how much these things mean to him. He may not express it in words, but he feels it in the way he looks at you, in the way he opens up, and in the way he chooses to stay. Love is about presence, about truly seeing and accepting each other, flaws and all. It's about building a space where both partners feel free to be their authentic selves without fear of judgment. When a man experiences this kind of love, it's unforgettable. He won't take it for granted because it's rare. It's the kind of love that transforms, that nurtures, and that deepens over time. This is the essence of love, not just for men, but for all of us. What do you think? Which of these insights resonated with you the most? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Golden Years Balance for more wisdom on love, relationships, and personal growth. See you in the next one.